2006 Ford Fusion front brake replacement, front brake rotors, and front brake pads.
Hey, I'm recording, so you need to keep it down there, bro.
A 19mm lug nuts. You can use your wrench that's probably in the trunk somewhere for when you have to change your spare tire. And when the car's on the ground, you can break these all loose. And you can use the jack and jack it up. Use safety stands. Well, once you take the tire off, put it underneath the car. So in case the jack collapses, it'll keep it from falling on the ground and falling on you perhaps. So we'll take the tire off. If you leave the key in the maybe on or accessory position, although you don't want to drain the battery, you can turn the wheel. Check this out. 14mm socket or wrench will fit on these bolts here. I'm going to take these out. It might be a good idea to stick a screwdriver in here and collapse the piston as well. You get in there and get on the piston or the inner brake pad and push it back. Just makes it a little quicker and easier to take this off and replace the brake pads because the piston will be already collapsed when you're ready to go. You should be able to hold this because it looks like it'll hold a wrench, but my wrenches are too fat to go on there, so we'll see about breaking this loose. Maybe just use a needle nose pliers or pliers of some kind if you need to hold this in place. Not always, but sometimes you do. Everything's lefty loosey, righty tighty. My wrench just happened to have an on and off option right here on the label. See, it's collapsed already. Have these springs in here that fit in the little holes. Anti-rattle clips. Like so. Brake pads have various shims sometimes. These help prevent squealing. And they just come out of their slot. You can see. And this is the point where if you're driving 45, 55, 65 miles an hour and you step on the brakes and your steering wheel doesn't shake and your brake pedal is not pulsing, pushing back and forth at you, and this is where you could possibly throw on new brake pads right here and put it back together. However, in the industry, probably to do it right, which we do, is we replace the rotors. Another option is to machine them, so replace them or machine them, get them smooth is the best option, especially if there's pulsation. So that's what we're going to do. And then we need to take this big caliper off, and it's probably as if they made it the same size, but it's not the same size. 15 millimeter. Again, lefty loosey, righty tighty, and we'll take this caliper off because we'll be taking the rotor off. This one happens to have torque bits, and we'll be getting those off shortly. And these are caliper slides. We do want to make sure they go in and out, which you can see this one does. Top one does as well, which is very good news. We'll probably still pull them out and put a little brake lubricant on them and then reinstall them. We're in good shape though, so we just finished taking that off. Okay, I'm using an impact driver. I think what's most important is that you get the right tool. It's a T40 Torx bit. And also you may want to do this before you move the rotor. So the brake caliper and everything. So you can use a screwdriver as leverage. And of course if we're loosening, we'll be down here for this one. It's going to turn this way. We put the screwdriver in there and then it'll hit the caliper and keep it from rotating while we break these loose. That's the theory. Usually works. So you've broken these loose. Again, just use a hammer or something, get your T40 Torx bit and make sure it's in there all the way. Again, we'll pull these out. Just pull them out one at a time. Put some caliper lubricant on there, just a little bit. Put them back in. And if you don't get new metal pieces, just clean these off with a rag and some, even soap and water, I guess, if you want, or just some brake clean. Clean these off before reinstalling. Oh, there's always brake lube that comes most often in packages, and actually we do not put it on here because it doesn't come that way from the factory, but you can put a little bit maybe on the piston in the caliper, maybe put a little lubricant around here, help with preventing noise. That's really the only place though I might put some lubricant. Otherwise, reverse procedure to install. Might show a tip or two in a second. So we get our new brake pads. We get some high quality brake pads. A little chart telling you where to put the pads. New pieces I was telling you about for adding on to the caliper mount anti-squeal devices. So we'll be installing this on the caliper. Just replace the pieces. They're wedged in there. We'll just wipe this down a little bit and then we'll put the new pieces on. And we'll just continue on for the rest. Just make sure when you're installing these pieces that this piece that sticks out is on the outside all the time, not on the inside. It could maybe rub on the rotor. So make sure it's always on the outside. So we mounted the caliper anchor piece of metal here. It's about 66 foot-pounds for the two 15mm bolts in the back. We installed our inner pad. Just install our outer pad. So if you didn't collapse the piston with the screwdriver for some reason, this is the time to do it. Use a large channel locks or a C-clamp. If you use a C-clamp or use whatever you use, put a pad in here, one of your old pads. So you're pushing on the pad and not directly on the caliper piston, and collapse it down so it's flush there. I might take a little wiggling of the caliper, but always start the bolts by hand. Because you don't want to cross thread them. These are about 37 foot-pounds to tighten those, and then you're done. Put the tire on. Lug nuts are about 100 foot-pounds. And before you drive away, always double check your fluid level. There's a minimum and maximum fluid level. And if it's full, you might actually want to take a clean rag, like a clean lint-free rag if you have them, and absorb a little brake fluid out of there. So when you collapse the brake piston, some fluid will move up in the master cylinder. It will not overflow. Before you drive it, step on the brake pedal probably 3 to 5 times so it pumps up and pushes the piston back into position. Because otherwise the first time you drive it without pumping it, you could have no brakes, which would be bad.